This is the Chris and Aaron Show with Chris and Zach and Aaron Camaro.
Hey, check this out.
One day back in Philly.
I got to, what?
It's the Fresh Prince theme song.
I got to use Ace Frehley comedy style today.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to love this. So I call my supply rep, and I say, hey, Jay, it's Aaron. I need a toilet. And he goes, okay, hang on a second. Let me look that up. Yeah, I got you right here. Yeah, I can get that for you tomorrow. And I said, Jay, I don't know if I can hold it that long. And I laughed. And he laughed. And I said, yeah, I nailed it. That's fucking Ace Frehley humor right there. That's an Ace Frehley, a joke told in the style and the lyricism of Ace Frehley. That's a total Space Ace joke.
That's on the same level of why did the monkey fall out of the tree?
Wow, what was it? Because he's
dead.
Because he's dead, yeah. But I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I was proud of myself on that one.
So we were talking about Bob Kulick ghosting on Alive 2. And so the story that Bob Kulick told was that they called him up while they were tracking the studio songs, and they said, we need you to come down. And he said, well, what's wrong with Ace? And they said he can't play. And
what's not wrong with Ace in 1977?
So he shows up at Electric Lady, he walks through the lobby, and Ace is like laid out on the couch there, hammered.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, Curly. Bob walks in, cuts the tracks.
Which you don't want to call Bob Kulick Curly because he takes offense to that.
Probably.
Yeah. You're like, you fucking asshole. Right off the bat, making fun of me. I hate you.
So then Ace...
do those guys get along?
I don't think so.
No, I'm sure not.
So then, they did play together on stage at the Indie Kiss Expo, but
you gotta figure
knows how much they
there's
really
bad
talk.
feelings there. There's got to be deep-rooted, like,
so.
You motherfucker, these guys chose you, and look what you've done.
Yeah, well,
look what you've done.
So the story goes that Bob cut the tracks, and then on his way out, he walks back through the lobby, and Ace is there, and he goes, hey, how was I? And Bob goes, it's the best you ever played.
Yeah, you got to say that. For sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I guess you had to be there. I guess you had to live it to understand.
Ace Frehley, 1977, probably not an easy person to go along with his habits.
Yeah. Funny as fuck.
Oh, one of the most fun people in the world to hang out with, I'm sure, but you do not want to work with him.
Well, yeah, because you would think, like, any other guitar player would be so fucking ego-driven that he'd be like, yeah, he'd say something smart to him on the way out. Yeah, you can't, whatever. But Ace just like, yeah, whatever, dude,
Yeah.
It's whatever. I'm still getting paid. Nobody still knows who you are. I'm still Ace Frehley. Got any blow?
I don't know that there's not really much of an ego with Ace. I just think he just does what he wants to.
Just does, yeah.
He's
just a flowing kind of spirit.
I think he's always been self-centered for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know that he's ever felt like he was Mr. Big Shot. I don't think he gives a shit enough to feel like Mr. Big Shot.
Well, because somewhere along the line, because you got to remember the stories of the early days of Kiss where they say Ace wasn't confident enough to sing, and he just couldn't do it, and then finally he comes out with Shock Me and people dig it, and he's got the kick-ass guitar solo and brings you up to Alive 2, and then it's Rocket Ride and people are like, holy fuck, this Ace Frehley's fucking awesome, and then he starts thinking, okay,
I can do this.
Not only everything I ask for and anything I ask for is given to me directly. No matter what it is, I get it. I could say and do whatever the fuck I want to anybody at any time, and there's no fucking limit because I got these big dudes here gonna fucking bail me out every time. If I wanna fucking buy a bar for the night and piss on a lady's head, I'm gonna fucking do it because I can. And who could ever know that anybody could have?
I think he felt like Mr. Big Shot with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as
then at some point he got the fucking heard it enough. Where people are like, dude, you're fucking awesome.
It's gonna get to anyone who gets that famous.
And then to be writing songs that are fucking pretty kick-ass,
Yeah.
And singing them, and you're getting a good response from it. And then I'm sure you're always going to have them people going, hey, you should go solo.
Yeah,
you don't need these guys. And they got their own people telling them that shit, too, all four of them, and that's what's going on there. But somewhere along the line, he got the fucking, you know what? I do contribute a lot to this band. And, when I do step out and fucking sing, people really fucking love it. I wonder if Gene Simmons ever fucking regrets
Oh, I think he's mentioned
talking
that he
Gene
does.
or talking Ace into singing.
Created a monster.
Yeah, because if Ace never would have sang, he would have never had the solo career.
He'd have just been content to be the guitar player in Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably would be dead then.
But I mean, I'll give Gene and Paul a lot of credit for pushing him to do more. And they
because that was part of their vision.
Yeah, they wanted all guys to
hey,
contribute.
we got 4 different characters.
Yeah.
You know, they should all sing their own songs, just like our heroes, the Beatles.
All right.
You know, and so it was important that Ace at that point was the only one not singing songs.
You know, Gene and Paul have both said that for a long time, but in hindsight, with the way Paul acts now, I think it was more Gene that felt that way than Paul. I think Paul would have been content to be the star of the band.
Oh yeah, I'm sure all along Paul was like, Gene, you're doing too many songs.
Well, did you hear that thing?
None. I'm the lead. I want to be the Robert Plant of this band.
Well, I think it was in Gene's book that Gene said they had a meeting like in the first couple of years of the band because Gene's getting all this press because of his look and his act on stage.
Right.
And Paul at one point goes, I think you need to tone it down. And Gene goes, no, I think you need to tone it up.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do what I do. If you want to compete with me, go ahead. But don't tell me to tap down my act because I'm getting more press than you are.
That's fucking awesome. I had a conversation with exactly like that with a radio DJ at one time.
Oh, really?
And she took me aside because I was fucking, I wanted her spot. It used to be mine, and through circumstance, it wasn't anymore, but I wanted it back. And I went in there one time, was just filling in for her on a Monday night, and I asked him on the weekend. I was like, "Hey, we always used to cut the promos for the, that night. Can I cut one? I don't think she has, And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so I get the return of Aaron David. That's what I went. Z104 Monday night. Blah, blah, blah. And all it was me filling in. And then because she was out somewhere and was going to be calling in. And so I made such a big fucking deal out of this little 30-second spot. And with the explosions and the Kiss guitars and, everything. And then she took me in like Tuesday. I'm coming in. She comes in and goes, "Can you come in here and talk to me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." She comes and closes the door and does exactly that. You need to tone it down. How dare you, do that? I said, "Hey, I asked for permission. Right. If you didn't like it, you should have said, I don't want Aaron doing my show, and then everyone would have known anyway." But I said, and it was exactly that. You need to tone it down. You need to bring it down a notch. Know your role. Blah blah blah. I was like, no. Hold on one second. So don't you dare tell me to turn it down. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you want it like I want it, you better
do the same thing.
You better turn it up because I'm coming to get my show back.
Yeah.
And she blew it eventually, and I wanted it more than anybody else, so I slid right back into that position. But same thing, you're never. It's like the old saying, your candle will never burn brighter by blowing out everybody else's. Your candle still glows the same brightness.
Well, and when Gene's talking about that in his book, if you look at the first year of Kiss, like when they did the ABC in concert and they did Mike Douglas show.
Yeah.
Paul's a lot more tame in those clips than what he became. And Gene said after I basically told him, no, I'm not toning it down, you saw a much more animated Paul Stanley on stage.
Right,
and next thing you know, everybody was following him on the stage.
Sure, because you got to understand, he's the star. He's got it right on his face.
Gene was saying, if you want that spot, you got to earn it.
Even at the beginning, Peter, is doing all
Peter
the stage raps and shit, So where does that leave Paul, man? That puts him one step behind, and then you get Beth on top of that. Holy shit, I better start prancing. I need to prance. Prance harder.
And I have different, and we'll get into more of this with the whole Christmas thing, but I have split feelings on Paul Stanley because it's like, the things that made him a superstar was insecurity and using it as fuel to overcome a lot of stuff. And
it's easy when you say, I want that, and somebody brings it to you. And you say, what do you think of this shirt? Oh, I love it. What do you think of this song? I love it. What do you think of my hair? It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. What do you think of my muscles? Oh, Paul, you're the, every question you could ask somebody is praise, praise, praise. Well, that's really tough to build up your insecurities, overcome them when the world is handed to you on a platter.
Well, it's at a point now where there's no overcoming it. He's just become bitter.
Right.
But in the early days,
you got to imagine how
fuel.
Right. Yeah. It's like overcoming insecurity through overcompensation, like over pretending,
Mm-hmm.
You see guys like this all the time that are loud and boisterous and really make a point that everybody, look at me, loud, obnoxious.
Yeah.
That's something way deep down inside that says, look at me, please.
Yeah, they're compensating for a lack of something else.
Sure, and that, in a lot of walks of life, and well, not a lot of walks of life, but in a lot of ways, you know, those are a lot of times the people that end up going on to, you know, maybe careers in entertainment.
Oh, totally.
Being in a band, you know, podcasting, whatever, you know.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you look at the guys in Kiss, four guys to wear 7-inch heels and makeup, and there's got to be something missing in your life if you're willing to dedicate yourself to that image, especially at that time in America.
Yeah.
I mean, that was...
No, man, that's cool as hell.
They really went out on a limb, and it takes somebody who they've got something driving them that they're not getting out of regular life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they push it. Same thing with comedians. Like, comedians are the funniest people on the planet. But a lot of times...
Until they're back in the hotel room by themselves.
A lot of times it's because they're some of the most depressed people on the planet.
Yeah.
They act it out through comedy.
People are all different, and different people see the world in different ways, you know, and are able to navigate their way through it.
The entertainment industry is filled with unstable people.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Some of which we've dealt with recently.
Yeah, totally.
And so even, you know, circumstances aside, my heart does go out to them. It's there's a lot of people with a lot of creative types have a lot of problems.
Right.
It just goes with the territory.
Yeah, it's strange the way it is, you know, but sometimes to be able to write a really great song, you got to be able to, you know, get into emotions that maybe not everybody is able to tap into. And most of us are probably grateful that we don't have access to, you know, weird ass feelings like that, to be able to write a song so deep or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I see it working in apartment maintenance over the years, you know, country artists. We had this guy, man, he sat in his room and fucking did drugs until they basically came and hauled him away to fucking take him to rehab. And he had fucking gold or silver records and shit.
Yeah.
Platinum
albums?
I don't know if, no, they weren't platinum. It must have just been gold. Yeah. But I don't remember his fucking name. But he had all kinds of... That's where that thing came from.
Right.
My bar light. My psychedelic bar light.
That was his?
Uh-huh. That was a note saying, take whatever. Do whatever. I'm out of here.
Wow. Well, yeah, there's a lot of unstable people in the industry.
There's another guy right now. He's a country singer. He goes and plays downtown all the time. Just fucking... like got into some kind of brawl with his girlfriend or wife and fucking put his foot through a window and you know, did all kinds of crazy shit. Like, we can't, they put in the work order online. We show up there, they let us in. First thing I notice is like dents in the fucking door, like knuckle-sized dents.
Oh, wow.
And this is a steel door and it's got blood on it. Like, what the fuck? You know, open the door, look inside, there's a table overturned, there's a hole in the wall, there's, you know, a plant overturned over here, and it's kind of in disarray. And I'm like, so where's the broken window? So we walk into the bedroom. Well, first we looked at it from the outside and we're like, what the fuck? Go inside and it's all glass broken in. So we do the detective work and be like, okay, there's some kind of fucking throwdown in here. And she must fucking locked him out. He fucking pounded the front door, then came around and fucking kicked the window. And this was all in drunkenness, and put his fucking foot through it. Lucky he didn't cut into any of his major, you know, leg veins.
Jesus.
And then she must have been like, holy fuck, get back in here. And then woke up in the morning and I said, whoa. I said, were you home when this happened? No.
Who were you asking?
The resident. And she's like, no. And I was like, so you have no idea how this even happened? She's like, no. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. So when did you first notice it then? Well, we got home about 2 a.m. last night, and I guess we noticed it then, but we didn't want to call and bother nobody, so we just went to bed. Bullshit. If I'm living in an apartment and somebody fucking kicks in my window, I'm calling somebody right now.
Yeah.
If I walk into my house and my window's kicked in, I'm calling somebody right now. You know, most people would do that.
Yeah.
And then the word gets out around the little neighborhood, and everyone comes forward is like, these two are fucking drunken idiots, and they're down here throwing down all the time.
Oh, jeez. I don't know why people
But he's like this.
He's
Like some dude that's, you know, playing in front of people downtown on the Strip in Nashville.
Huh.
On the Broadway.
Ugh. I try to avoid that area as much as possible.
Yeah, me too.
So do you want some Expo news behind the scenes?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
It's almost here. It's like, what, a month away? Not quite? A little more? Yeah.
6 weeks to go. Well, 6 weeks from this Saturday.
I'm so excited. I hope I get to go.
What do you mean you hope?
No, I'm going.
You fucking better.
I'm going. I'm going to be there all the way from the beginning, all the way to the end.
You have to have the mayor there.
I know it.
So the bad news first: Mitch Malloy and Christopher Williams will not be coming.
That sucks.
Yeah, Mitch got the job in Great White,
which that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm really, I'm really intrigued by that.
I've heard his voice though. I don't know if his voice fits that music.
Well, maybe they should,
or unless they're going to change their sound.
I was going to say maybe Mitch can talk them into changing their name.
Yeah, maybe.
Change the name. Change the sound.
Otherwise,
Let's just collaborate because Mitch Malloy's a good songwriter.
He's good.
You can get in there with Great White, who's a great fucking band, and also great songwriters. And together, I think they could come out with something that's new and fucking awesome.
I'd rather them change it and do something different.
Me too. Just give the Great White to Jack.
I think he's doing fine with it.
Yeah.
So he's Christopher's got something that came up. He said he can't tell me what it is yet, but it'll be out. I'm assuming Accept is doing more dates, and that's probably what's going on.
Maybe just can't make the say nothing until they make the announcement.
Recently announced Anthony Fox to come to the Expo.
Yeah.
So you know from Beautiful Creatures, which is
a
band with Joe Lestay. I was listening to that album the other day. I was like, it's a fucking good album. The whole thing's good.
Which one? Do you listen to Deuce?
So I think it's just self-titled.
The second one. Check out the second one. Is really fucking good.
And somebody had mentioned in the comments, which I forgot all about, he's the drummer for Tia Carrere's band in Wayne's World.
Really?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, wow.
And he's also in I don't know if he played on the album, but in the Alice Cooper video for Poison.
Yeah.
That's him on drums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It'll be neat to meet that guy.
So, yeah, he's coming. And
bring your Wayne's World soundtrack.
Oh, God.
He probably played on that Tina Carrera song,
maybe.
Ballroom Blitz.
And I had lunch with Brendan Harkin last weekend.
Yeah.
From Stars. And we had a good talk.
That's cool, man.
Had a lot of interesting stories. And his take on what happened with Stars is interesting. I'm not going to give it away, but because I think we're gonna do a Stars thing with him on panel, I think.
Cool.
I tried to get Richie Rano to come, but he's going to be booked that day. So I might look into getting Michael Lee Smith, the singer from Stars, to see if he could come. Because I'd like to have two members of the band on stage.
That would be pretty awesome.
To hear what happened.
So we just go do a career discussion with him up there? Yeah, I like that.
At least the first 3 albums. That's what Brendan was on. And I mentioned how much you liked Good Ale We Seek. And he said that was my big contribution to that album.
I love that song.
If you want to know where I wanted us to go, it was that song.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, good. I'll tell Aaron about that. But
that's awesome.
So that song was pretty much all him.
That's fucking cool. I love that song.
And he had some interesting stories about Sean Delaney and Bill Coyne, and because they managed Stars. So there's some cool stories from behind the scenes there.
Is that the same with Angel? Were they handled by all the same people too?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Angel was on Casablanca, Stars was on Capitol.
Ah, okay.
But Bill Coyne and Sean Delaney managed them while they were on Capitol. So it was a really good.
That's weird.
We had a good lunch talking, and but yeah, he's not like all sunshines and rainbows about Stars or rock music in general. So he'll be an interesting guest.
Is he not in Stars anymore? Is Stars not even a thing anymore?
Richie still does shows in New Jersey.
Richie Rano's Stars kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Stars All Stars or something. But and that's why he can't come. They're doing like 2 shows that weekend.
Yeah.
But no, Brendan went on to do like a lot of production work with other types of music, a lot of jazz and gospel and all kinds of stuff. And he's got a studio out in Cool Springs, out in Franklin area. And he's like, I've made,
He's going to hate the Rock and Pot Expo.
No, he's looking
like, look at all these fucking rock and rollers in here. I was a rock and roller once, damn it.
He's kind of the viewpoint of he left rock and roll behind a long time ago, and he's happy now, but he's also looking forward to it, though. He's like, it'll be fun to reconnect with that for a day and kind of enjoy it again.
Cool.
But he's like, but as far as my life goes, I'm well past all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, right. He comes down to the Rocket Pot Expo, listens to, 20 people tell him how awesome he is.
I told him there's a lot of people excited to meet him.
He'd be like, fuck, Richie, I went to this expo this weekend, man, and, man, all them fans were there, man, and they were just saying, maybe we could... That'd be awesome. Wow. Then we'd be like Eddie Trunk. We got Stars back together.
That asshole.
Yeah.
So that was fun, and
Eddie
then
Trunk 20, Decibel Geek 1.
Right. So, and I've got some nibbles out for other guests, but no confirmations yet. Desmond's people got back to me. And they had more questions, and they said they're just waiting on an answer, but it sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, we got a couple of security guards dressed all in pink with nothing to do. They could just guard Desmond.
They did say he wants transportation to and from. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? He lives here.
So we go get Billy Hardaway to pick him up. Like, where the fuck are they? In the meantime, he's got him at his house. And he's making him autograph all these different things.
Oh, boy.
Don't forget my Cisco CD.
Cisco, yeah.
I got all Cisco's albums. I want you to sign them all.
I got to, for my anniversary, my wife and I went to the Musicians Hall of Fame downtown.
Yeah?
It's at Municipal
Nice.
Auditorium.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Not a lot in the way of hard rock, but a lot of rock and roll stuff. Like a lot of gear that was used on famous albums.
Right on.
Like bass guitars that were used on like all the Motown sessions, and Glenn Campbell's coat from Wichita Lineman from his TV special.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. Roy Orbison's actual glasses, the sunglasses.
Oh, nice.
Like they have
That's
those
cool.
in a display. A lot of old recording gear from studios from back in the day. It's not even that expensive. So like if you come to Nashville,
And that's
I
at the
highly recommend
Municipal?
it. Yeah, it's underneath it. It's the basement.
Huh. I didn't even know
It's
about that
really,
place.
You'd love it. I think you and Jamie should go there.
We went to the country music one
Yeah, that one's
time.
cool,
That's
too.
at the
That's got its own
old
building.
Ryman, I guess, out there by Opry Mills.
No, that's the Grand Ole Opry out there.
So that would be the Grand Ole Opry
Yeah.
Museum we went to then.
No, the Country
Yeah.
Music Hall of Fame.
And then that's the big one in
that's
town.
downtown. Yeah.
Have you ever been to that?
Yeah, my wife and I went to it. And I'm not even a giant country fan, but it's really impressive.
Yeah, because every once in a while they do like different things.
They were doing an Elvis thing when we
Yeah.
went. It was cool.
Right on.
They had like one of his cars in there.
They had a Rolling Stones one not too long ago.
Well, the Rolling Stone one is at the Musicians Hall of Fame, but
Okay.
we didn't do that because if for me, my wife, and my daughter to go, it would have been like an extra $100, and I was just like,
Really?
it's
Just
not-
to go
I
walk
like
through
the Stones, but I'm
Right.
not. If it was a Kiss exhibit, I'd do it.
Yeah.
But just for the regular museum, there's like some really awesome stuff in there.
That's cool.
It's worth your time. We
I
had a
love
good
that
time.
stuff.
But yeah, other than that, I'm just trying to, land more guests for the expo, get everything in order. But, we're getting down to the home stretch. So it's time to start wrapping everything up.
Yeah, if you guys know of anybody last minute,
I've
whatever town you're in, you'd be like, oh man, this guy lives here.
I got I got turned down today by Charlie Kendall, and I don't know, you don't know that name, but you know what he used to do. He used to host Metal Shop.
Oh wow.
He lives in Kentucky.
Yeah?
Yeah, I tried to talk him into it, but he's like, I am most definitely retired, so thanks for asking, but I'm not coming. I was like, all right. I was like, dude, it'd be
He wouldn't
so
even
cool
come
to
out to
have
see
him.
his old fans. That would be pretty cool.
It'd be
That's
great to
that
have
was
him on there,
slick,
do a
man.
whole hour talking about Metal Shop and
Shit, yeah. Do you think
tried.
we could ever get him to come on the show and talk to us about it?
He just gave me the impression that he doesn't do anything. He's done with all of it
I'm on a beach right now
in Kentucky.
with a beautiful woman. Yeah, on a
But,
Kentucky lake.
I tried getting him last year. I didn't even hear from him last year. This year, he at least responded to me.
Then next year he'll probably say yes.
We'll see.
That's the 3-year rule.
Are we doing it next year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
We'll see how this year goes.
I don't see why not.
Well, I'm getting down to once I hit the 6 week. From this point on until for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be like, why am I doing this?
Well,
But I think it'll be great.
we're all right. We got head, man.
Got to get back in touch with his manager too.
Yeah, don't let him forget.
Well, we're talking about doing that Albums Unleashed with him and Toby too.
Yeah. And we got to do the talk with Mangus, and that's all after.
I talked to Mangus last week, and he's definitely into doing that.
Yeah, towards the end of July then.
Yep.
Then we'll hit that one up, get it recorded.
Yep.
Maybe actually record that one anytime.
Yeah, but I want to get it. I'd like to start off.
It's always tough sometimes, but if we go in with the understanding of, this isn't going to come out for a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
then it's all right.
But yeah,
Because otherwise everybody's like us, you make an appearance on their show and you're like, when's it coming out? Oh, I can't wait to hear it. It was so much fun, When's it coming out?
Or when you
Is it out yet?
when you record with Victor and it doesn't come out for a year. No offense, Victor. If you're
I had
listening.
totally forgot that I'd even done it at that point when it came out. I was like, oh shit, that's right. Well, here I am talking about stuff that just happened, stuff that was current a year ago.
That's why you don't
It
remember.
was all right, though.
That's why you don't
It was
remember
fun.
saying that I look like a guy that listens to Jim Croce.
Right,
Even though I
yeah.
am a guy that listens to Jim Croce.
And I don't mean that as a put down.
I get it.
Because I listen to the Jim Croce. Don't tell
and
nobody.
the bracelets and all that stuff. But if I didn't work in an office job, I'm sure I probably would have stuck.
I'm
with
sure
it.
you would too.
Yeah. But I don't know. The long hair is a pain in the ass.
It is. It definitely is.
I don't miss that.
You know,
I'm happy I cut it.
Working outside in the Tennessee humid heat is kind of shitty sometimes with it, but you know, I don't know. I cut my hair once, and
I can't picture you with really short hair.
I look pretty good, actually.
Listen to you.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. I guess I was like, oh, I was fucking hot, dude. You should have seen me. But no, because like you'd see other dudes that had long hair, and you'd always give them the "what's up," you know. Oh. But then you don't have long hair no more, but you forget because it's still in your mind.
Why'd that dude wink at me?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so you're giving, when it's two long haired dudes, you're giving them the knowingly, yeah, what's up, rock and roller? You know, it's like, yeah, what's up? You know, it's like, you know, but then you're doing it when one of you's got short hair, and it's like, yeah, what? No, nothing. Never mind, I forgot. Cut it off.
Well, where are we at on time?
Oh, about 25 minutes in.
Before we finish, let me do a quick shout out and congratulations to Rock and Ron. You saw his news?
I saw it, but I didn't know I didn't get the inside info.
Rock and Ron is doing the video work for the Pretty Boy Floyd official music video. That's being
fucking
filmed,
awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to bust out the drone.
He should.
Finally.
You can get a view of Steve Summers' wig from above.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Call the drone the Dave Shirt 5.
The Dave shirt. But no, I was just so happy to hear that. And, you know, hard work pays off. Ron does an awesome job, and he deserves it.
Yeah, because these guys are seeing his videos and going, how fucking awesome are these? And this is a guy standing out in the crowd still managing to get this. What if he had all access to be able to get what he wanted?
I've gotten into a habit of, at night, you know, if the wife's not, you know, really into watching something, just like watch whatever, I'll just put on the Decibel Geek YouTube channel through my Roku box.
Yeah.
And I'll just have it play on shuffle, and it's just like watching MTV.
Nice.
And it's just all these different live videos. It's great.
That is super cool.
Just know you're appreciated, Ron.
Yeah, I love it a lot. That's cool. It's good that he's getting the notice from doing what he's doing.
All right, so
that's why I always get a chuckle out of that. You know, it's like another opportunity thanks to working for Decibel Geek. And it's like, working for Decibel Geek, you're not getting paid. Yeah. Don't tell nobody that, but you're not getting paid. Nobody's getting paid.
Nobody works for us. They work with us.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all do this for fun.
That's what I'm saying.
But it leads to opportunities.
Right. No, it totally has for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways.
For us too. Yeah.
No, it's fucking awesome. You know, you think back to the very beginning and how many different ways, you know, whether you being right damn near the stage seeing Poison a week ago,
that was so cool.
You know, us going to the Atlanta Kiss Expo and having a great time, or, you know, Baco getting to he got to meet Gene Simmons. No, see Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons play together for the first time ever and forever.
Or us, we get to have
Rock and Ron getting hired by Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd,
yeah.
Wow,
that'd be great too.
That'd be huge.
That's next. set it low with Pretty Boy Floyd. I mean, not low, but you know,
low.
Okay, I've got a whole bunch of Pretty Boy Floyd CDs up there.
I know,
like the whole collection. It came in a deal. It was like too good of a deal to pass up for all them CDs.
We're gonna get you some help here.
I know.
But no, it's that's cool. And then, you know, we got to pound beers and talk with John Karabi for 3 hours in a bar.
Right.
I mean, without doing the podcast, I doubt we would have had that opportunity.
No, probably not.
You know? I think we're fun to hang around, but not that fun.
Yeah, it'd have to be total circumstance, but I don't know if we could have pinned him down. I bet you if you did, if you sat down next to him as complete strangers, just started talking as in depth about shit as we did, we'd roll right along with it.
Maybe.
That's what made it so great, because that's pretty much what it was.
Or the one with Damon last week.
Exactly.
I mean, that was just a fun, loose conversation.
That was fucking awesome. I love that guy.
He was great. So, all right. Well, we have to get ready to turn chicken shit into chicken salad with this.
Oh yeah. So I guess this is your little introduction to it. So this is
you guys will hear the full thing.
I'm going to tack this onto here because last week we were planning on interviewing Bob Kulick and having him on the show, but the way it went down was we weren't into Christmas in July mode yet, and this was actually supposed to come out a couple of weeks ago. So we kind of tried to split it up and talk about some other stuff that Bob's done over the years, besides all the stuff he talks about all the time with the Kiss story. And so, I don't know, it didn't go that great.
No, it
did
not.
None of it. It was really.
Well, we got decent nuggets.
We did. Yeah, we did. There are nuggets, and that's what's going to end up into the episode where like I like cherry picked a lot of stuff out of this interview to make this week's show.
Aaron gets the editing award this week.
Oh man, it wasn't easy. He was a little squirrely, a little sour, a little feisty. But you guys are going to get the full experience here today because
you should call it How About Them Yankees?
How About Them Yankees with Bob Kulick. And in small print, also Decibel Geek. Chris and Aaron were also there for part of this.
Yeah. With awkward pauses.
Yeah, so we trimmed out all the awkward pauses and are putting them into the actual show. But today you get to hear all the awkward pauses, all the dropped phone calls, all the...
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah. Well, then now you'll double laugh when you hear the middle break on the actual show because now you'll see what we actually took that from and what it actually really was.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how this turns out. You're going to do your magic.
Oh, man. So here you go on the Chris and Aaron Show. It's an exclusive, The Full Bob.
Hello?
Hey, Bob. It's Chris. How are you?
I'm sorry?
Hey, it's Chris. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, hey, good. How you doing? Yeah, it just says no caller ID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Skype's a little funny about when we call out, it just kind of assigns random numbers. So,
no worries.
Okay.
How's it going?
Good. My co-host Aaron Camaro is on the line with us.
How's it going, Bob?
Hey. Good. How are you?
Real good.
All right. So
Excellent. So we should get started because I'm in the middle of doing some serious biz here.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Anything you can talk about?
Okay. No.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, I kind of want to just go over some different things. We are big Kiss fans, but we want to talk about some other parts of your career because we cover a lot of different bands and stuff.
You mean there are actually other parts of my career other than Kiss? Oh, my God. You guys actually know that. Wow. A lot of people think that this is the only thing. Oh, yeah, Bob Kulick, the guy that played with Kiss and did all that stuff. Yeah, maybe we could talk about something else. Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, last week we were talking about, we've been on kind of a roll here lately because a couple of weeks back we had Brent Fitz on the show and we were talking about all the cool stuff you've done with him and the Kulick brothers stuff. And then we had our friend on the show a week ago and he played some Blackthorn for us. And then last week...
I remember that band.
Yeah, and then last week we played some Murderer's Row. So it's like we've been on the Bob Kulick trip here for a while.
What you been playing of Murderer's Row?
We played Hangman's Moon last week.
Wow, very nice. A good choice.
That's a great,
David Glenn
great
Isley.
song.
Amazing singer. Amazing singer.
Cool.
What other stuff did he do? We were trying to figure out what other stuff he did.
Oh, shame on you guys. Gee, really?
Yeah.
You never heard of Jafria?
That's
All
what
of the
it
Wild.
was.
Dave Isley? Come on. Wow.
That's what I was trying to think
I don't know if I should hang up now or not.
Oh,
No, don't do it.
How about Dirty White Boy with Earl Slick? Come on, you guys.
Yeah, and I knew...
How about that he sang the theme, he sang the SpongeBob song that I wrote with him, Sweet Victory, that was in the Band Geeks episode that everybody loved, the hundreds of thousands of downloads.
Nice.
That's Dave Glenn Isley.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah?
I think he was in Alcatraz too, right?
No, that was Jimmy Waldo, the keyboard player.
Oh, that's what
wow.
I'm
You guys
thinking
have
of.
not
Yep.
done your homework today.
Well, we're close. We're close. Because
Okay, you're close. You're in the ballpark.
Waldo,
okay, I'll give you that.
Jimmy Waldo
Not near any
was
of the
in
bases
that.
enough not to get tagged out, though.
Well, I know Jimmy Waldo was in Murderer's
Let's move back
Moon,
to Kiss.
right?
Hey, I got a better idea.
All right.
Let's just move back to Kiss. Let's just do that. How's that sound?
Well, that sounds good.
Well, let me.
Okay, so we got some exciting events coming up. I'm proud to announce that it looks like we're going to be playing in Fort Lauderdale the night before we embark on our Kiss cruise. So on October 30th, look for an ad coming out soon. Kulick Brothers will be playing a American Diabetes Association charity.
Right on.
So
Very
I'm really
cool.
proud of us, and that everybody agreed to play a charity, so Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns, myself and brother Bruce will be appearing doing some of the songs we have not played before. So there's a little tidbit for everybody that, even before the cruise, you'd be the first people to hear us play. You know which songs, you know what to come.
Nice.
So anyway, that's a big announcement. And then, of course, there's the cruise coming up, which is very exciting. We'll get to play with our buddy Ace Frehley again, like we did at the Indie Convention, where Eric Singer and Ace joined my brother and myself and took turns on stage, and we had other guests. And then the next night we did our show. It was a great experience, to see all those great Kiss fans getting to hear the songs that we were dishing out, and then we did some cover songs with Ace, like Foxy Lady, and with Eric playing drums and that. No one will ever see that again. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And the videos are popping up all over, so, get to watch this and that. The cruise put up a video of Kiss Cruise 7. You guys should take a look at it. Yeah. Even if you don't like the rest, there's some great bikinis in there, so there you go.
That's awesome. Let me ask you, I saw a video recently of a Tonight Show appearance with you playing with Diana Ross on that song Mirror, Mirror, and you were just ripping guitar leads through the whole song. How was Gene part of getting you together with Diana, or was that a different connection?
Gene was the connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gene made the connection. He was going out with Cher at the time. And he called me and just said, so look, we need a solo on this song. Come to the studio now.
Cool.
So this was one of the ways that Gene and Paul repaid some of the favors that I did for them.
Yeah.
Is that they recommended me for high-profile situations or included me in high-profile situations. He could have suggested Steve Lukather or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Gene knew that because of my playing with Meatloaf and Lou Reed and all the people he knew I played with, Alice Cooper and all that. He knew that I was a versatile player. After all, I was able to work with them. So going down there, it was just Diana Ross and Gene, and it was fun. We just had a great time. I was not intimidated by her in any way, shape, or form. At the time, she was wearing her skin-tight clothes to, keep Gene on her lap, because he was helping her. She was making a record deal with RCA, and she didn't know all the particulars, and I think Gene really kind of helped her through that period of time. It was the first time she'd ever been in a studio when musicians were recording. From Motown, they only let her in to sing. They never let her hear roughs. They never let her to a mix. She never went to a tracking session. So this was like a great experience for her to have me there, a guy who was like, she was seeing me create this on the spot. She'd never seen anything like that done before.
Wow.
And so she was, I love you. I'm like, well, you love him, but I'm glad you like what I'm playing. It was one of those.
Yeah.
And so I wound up, Gene called me the next day and he was just like, oh, Bob, you did a great job yesterday. You made me look great. And I'm like, well, thank you for the opportunity. He's like, come to the studio again today. I have another song for you to play on. And that's the other song. If you look, you'll see Mirror Mirror's up there as well. Mm-hmm. We did that live and with the Tonight Show band and Randy Brecker, the horn player, and Yogi Horton, the drummer. Both are incredible musicians that I worked with back in the day who are no longer with us, sadly. So they're in that video, and it's testament to them that Diana Ross opted to fly out the guys who were special to her on that record, Randy Brecker, Yogi Horton, and myself. And it was an honor to be able to be on that show. Johnny Carson show was the show to be on.
Yeah,
right.
It was, I think, one of the proudest moments for my mom, may she rest in peace, of all the moments I can remember, how excited she was. All our friends are calling and they're saying you're on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It meant a lot to my parents, and it meant a lot to me. We had a sound check and I could see I was slightly off camera. I actually moved into that spot so I could be there so you could see me through the whole thing. I'm no dummy.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, because Carson was just massive at the time.
Yeah,
so you
totally.
got seen by millions of people then.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
yeah, it was a Dear Diary moment. Yeah.
Totally.
As was, just playing on the hit singles. We were driving in from the airport in a taxi, and, Mirror Mirror came on, of course. It was no accident. It was, what was supposed to happen. Well, there we are. We're on the radio, and here we are going to NBC to do the Tonight Show. And as my usual custom was, I had done the Tonight Show once before, and I got yelled at by the musical director, Doc Severinsen. And the same happened on this. They put my Marshall amp. I had like a Marshall combo, two 12-inch speakers. But, it could be loud, and the high notes were piercing. They put the amp right near him. He was the trumpet player, if you remember. He was the MD. He was the cat.
Yeah.
So, of course, we start the song, and I go to a couple of those high notes, and he's like, stop! Somebody stops, and now he's just like, what is that? What is that? That volume is unacceptable. I'm just like, Doc, excuse me, I'm the guitar player here. He's like, move this man out of the way.
Ooh.
And Diana Ross is looking at me. I'm just like, what do you want from me? They put my amp over here. What do you want? I said, move me to the other side. And that's how I wound up there. I was on the end, like where the drummer was. If you look in the video, you can see. You don't see much of Doc, but he was the conductor, regardless of what it was. He was it was Ed McMahon, who was the announcer, Johnny, who was the star, and Doc Severinsen, who was sort of, the sidecar to the two of them, and the musical director. So it was quite an experience, all in all. Nice that you mentioned it. Thanks.
Oh, no, I saw the video a few weeks ago, and I was just like, this is really an interesting piece of musical history because,
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, because and Diana...
Even though she screwed up the lyrics.
Oh, did
she? She screwed up the lyrics, but it didn't matter. Didn't matter.
Energetic performance,
Nothing compared to other butchering jobs that I've heard done, believe you me.
Yeah. I'm sure you have. But
I've heard some real butcher jobs, believe me.
Well, your resume is really impressive. I mean, even outside the Kiss stuff. But yeah,
careful now.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Meatloaf thing. Like, how do you end up getting hooked?
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't miss him. He was a fat guy. You couldn't miss him at all. He was one of the greatest. He was one of the greatest singers that I ever worked with.
I bet.
When we first started working with him, the voice that sang "Bad Out of Hell," the voice that sang "2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad," the voice that sang "Paradise by the Dashboard Light." You listen to those again with Todd Rundgren's mastery on there and the incredible songwriting of Jim Steinman. Those songs are as good as some Beatles songs. I would have to rate them right up there. "Bad Out of Hell." The last thing I see is my heart still beating, breaking out of my body and flying away like a bat out of hell. It's a pretty unbelievable lyric, you would have to agree.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible...
Yeah. So I played that song so many times. I wish I had $1 for every time I played that song. I played with him 78 and 79, and I played with him 83 through 89. So I was a hamburger helper for a while.
I've never heard that term used like that. Okay, that's cool. Well, were you on? So you were on right as Bad Out of Hell was breaking big. You were touring with him, right?
Well, we were the reason that it was breaking big. The record. No, seriously, the record technically was a dud on arrival.
Okay.
And when radio looked at the songs, they were like, "Well, what do you expect us to do with a 10-minute song? How does that fit in our rotation for an unknown artist? Mm-hmm. Where do we stick this 10-minute song?" So they tried to chop Bad Out of Hell down, and it just didn't work. It was like taking all that other stuff out. It just didn't. The magic wasn't there. It was not the intention. It was. The premise was false. It could not work without it being in its entirety. Right. And so the band went out and we started playing colleges. And there were college stations that would play, all right, we got this great new song, and, so they'd play All Revved Up or Paradise or go for Bad Out of Hell. And they were long songs, but they were getting a great response. And if we showed up, they started hooking us up with like, well, maybe there's a radio station we could do a 99-cent night with, where the theater's packed with people that it's a radio promotion thing. And they only charge them $1 to come in, and it's a new band, and they got to see us. Yeah. And we were so good that they spread the word, and then the radio station started playing. And then the label saw what was happening, so they played Cleveland 2 nights at the Agora, and now they sold 3,000 CDs there. Is that what you're telling me? Yes, because the band's playing, so they're seeing the band, and now they're selling records, so we need to book them a big tour, which is exactly what they did. Okay, you guys are going on a real tour now. Airplanes and the whole thing. Well, we need to go from blah to blah, so we're flying. Oh, so the low-class way we were doing it was replaced by, holy shit, we got a real winner on our hands. By the time we finished that tour, that big tour, the record was climbing the charts. We were on Saturday Night Live, and the record was huge all over the world because the band live set that up. The record was a flop.
That's awesome.
So Bruce Kulick and myself and Joe Stefko and Steve Buslow and Carla DeVita and Rory Dodd and Paul Glanz. We were the magic. We were the glue that kept Meatloaf in a place where it sounded amazing. And the proof of that is on the record Bat Out of Hell, where you buy that record now. They have 2 live songs at the front. That's that band. That's my brother and I on guitar. Bolero, the intro that we come out and play, and then Bat Out of Hell. That version of Bat Out of Hell, you couldn't find a better version than that. Right. Everything the record is, plus what we added to it, what this band added to it, breathed life into it, sped it up slightly. So it was unbelievably exciting. And by the time I got done with them, a song like that was, Meatloaf could stop singing, nobody'd have to sing. The whole crowd would sing the song, knowing all the lyrics. That's how big that was.
Wow. That's awesome. I never knew that. That's cool.
Wow. That's incredible.
Well, and I was too young at the time to see it, so I can really only go by the VH1 movie made.
Well, there's
about
videos.
Meatloaf's.
You can go.
Yeah.
You can go to the videos. There's just Saturday Night Live and.
Yeah. But
there's live performance videos all over the place.
What about the stories about Meatloaf passing out regularly?
What about?
Oh, I
wouldn't say it was regularly.
Okay, I didn't know how often that took place.
That it happened.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I just didn't know how often that actually took place, because it seems like
No, we didn't keep score.
All right.
For a large person to put on the kind of show, I mean, he would lose probably 5 pounds a show of water dehydration. He'd be like, if he went down on the stage, he'd lay down for like one of the goofball ideas he had of showcasing the makeout scene with Carla or something, or for any other reason, you would see the outline of what he was wearing on the stage when he got up. It was soaked, literally soaked to the bone. I mean, he sweated all the time because he gave 100%. A guy that big running around the stage and singing his heart out and all that. I always had to give him credit no matter what. He always gave 100%. Performing was everything to him. He needed that attention. He needed that stardom to validate himself. Even though the guy was a hugely successful actor who could handle a myriad of roles, everything from Rocky Horror Picture Show to Fight Club, which was extremely, I don't know how many other people in the world could have done a movie like Fight Club and played his part. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that movie. You're going to say no, I know.
Yeah, very memorable.
Oh, you did see that movie. So there you go. I mean, am I wrong?
No, he was great in that movie. Yeah.
I mean, that's an...
Did it get cut off?
I don't know.
You there? Hello? Did it hang up?
It just hung up.
Oh, shoot. That's weird.
Phone didn't go dead.
Oh, so now you guys are dropping the calls.
No.
Are we done yet?
No, not just yet.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can talk anymore.
Well, I'm glad we're so entertaining.
Now what? We're going back to Kiss? What do we want to do?
What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
Well,
I don't know. I think that, I'm kind of surprised the Red Sox are really hanging in there because the Yankees have been playing so great. If you look at their won-loss record percentage, they're still ahead of Boston and everybody else in the majors. But, they're just hovering around first place. But I'm not concerned because I kind of feel that the best is yet to come. Once they get into July and August and they get deep into some of these bullpens, Stanton and Judge are going to hit balls out of the park that people are going to be lucky if they don't get killed in the stands. I'm not kidding. I've already seen several line drives that Stanton's hit out that if you're not looking and that ball hits you, they're not even taking you to the hospital. You're going to the morgue. I mean, they're like shot out of cannons at angles that I've never seen before. line drives out of there. 320-foot line drive. Usually don't hit balls like that. These guys have a specialty. They're monsters. They're 6'6", 275 pounds. They're monsters playing baseball. The monsters usually play basketball or WWE wrestlers. Yeah. They're not usually baseball players. The Yankees have both the monsters. So as a New Yorker here, I'm so excited because I believe they're going to the World Series. And I've already placed my bet here in Vegas that the Yankees are going to win the World Series even before the season started.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. What else do you want to talk about?
Do you place that bet every season?
I'm a big Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They came close last year, very close last year, but I think this year they have the the young guys, and I think they need one more pitcher. I think they're going to pick up somebody like what Houston did last year, where they grabbed Verlander from Detroit, and that made all the difference because Verlander was the guy that was able to stop the Yankees. So far, nobody else has been able to stop them, including Keuchel, the guy from Houston, who had their number up until this year. Then this year, the Yankees totally kicked his ass. So I think the word is out, and everybody realizes, like, to get through this lineup, you can only bring A pitching, or else these guys, they can hit the ball out of the park. They've been hitting like 3, 4, 5 home runs a game. Not every game, but a lot of games you see like, oh boy, Gregorius has hit home runs, and Sanchez, the catcher, he's a monster too. He actually hit, like, when they brought him up 2 years ago, I think he hit like 26 home runs in like 50 games or something like that. It was like, what? Like every other game, the guy hit a home run. That's unheard of.
Dang, Bob,
So, I'm really excited.
You should be doing a
I'm
Yankees podcast.
What's that?
You should be hosting a Yankees podcast.
Yeah, they should let me do. I should be hosting the games. The guy that they got. I mean, he's funny. It's really funny. But I could probably do a better job. I'd be more enthusiastic, that's for sure. Yeah. I haven't even been able to be at the new Yankee Stadium. I'm hoping that there will be an opportunity to go, because I was at the old stadium back in the day and saw the old magical teams play. Meatloaf was attached to the Yankees in that Phil Rizzuto was the Yankee announcer at the time. He's the voice on Paradise by the Dashboard Light. He's heading for second. And he's in there, second base. Stay at second. Looking to third base. The joke about the guy making out with the girl, and he's heading for third base, and he's in there.
So that's the actual
and
Yankees guy. Wow.
Yep, Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah, so we actually went to a game, and Meatloaf and Jim Steinman, they let them in the dugout, and they had their pictures taken with Reggie Jackson and all the guys where we sat in the stands. I was like, you mean I don't get to go in the dugout? I was totally, like, bummed. I was just like, Jesus Christ, they didn't get to meet those guys. But subsequently to that, I've met a few of these guys, and it's always a thrill for me. It's like what I see from some of the fans sometimes, that, no, stop shaking and just come take a nice picture here. Here you go. Something like that. Yeah.
You're the second guest we've had that is a massive Yankees fan. We also had Sandy Gennaro on the show who loves them.
My old friend Sandy Gennaro, gee.
Yeah.
How's Sandy doing?
Oh, he's great. He lives out here in Nashville, and he's a super nice guy. But yeah, once you got him talking about baseball, he wanted to just keep going.
Wow, I didn't know that. I have to mention that to my brother. Yeah, we were in a band for 30 seconds together.
Oh yeah, which band was that?
Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Oh, were you in Blackjack?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, then I left.
Oh, okay.
So I was in the band when it started. And then I was not wild about the particulars on the business level. And, I wanted Roy Thomas Baker to produce us. And they wanted Tom Dowd, who I thought was totally wrong for what we needed to be. And so I left.
Yeah, Roy Thomas
Even
Baker
though it was my brother.
He would have beefed the sound up for sure.
Yeah.
So it would have been more metal record. It would have been more successful. This turned into Derek and the Dominoes without an audience.
Gotcha.
With a singer who they could have projected more as Robert Plant rather than what they projected him as.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah,
but the truth is that it still wouldn't have worked, because I don't believe his fate was ever to be a rock star. I think his fate was to be a pop star. Yeah. As much as he might resent it, that was the only place he was successful. How am I supposed to live without you? And Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was what he's supposed to sing. Right. And he's not supposed to sing Rocky Mountain Way or Blackjack songs. He's not. It doesn't work. The audience doesn't buy it. For whatever reason, they just didn't buy it. Yet, as Michael Bolton, bang zoom, as the honeymooners would say, off to the moon he went.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
But he wanted to be a rock and roller, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Listen to the Michael Bolton solo records before that.
Right.
Yep.
And listen to Blackjack. That was rock.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Yeah, some of that stuff.
He did 2 records. They were rock.
His early solo stuff's almost got like almost kind of a White Snake kind of a feel to some of it.
Well, I played on that. Bruce played on that. It was me and Bruce and Mark Clark and the whole crew that was happening back then with Lieber Krebs when I was working with Balance. And I was signed to Lieber Krebs, the managers that managed Aerosmith and Ted Nugent and AC/DC. Anybody big? Just them. And a bunch of other bands.
Right.
So, and out of that office was Cliff Bernstein, who went on to manage Metallica and Def Leppard, and Louis Levin, who went on to manage Michael Bolton by himself. Both these managers, without Lieber Krebs, made gazillions of dollars, literally.
Yeah.
Cliff Bernstein's still in business. Hugh Prime, really smart guy.
Yeah.
Really smart guy. Yeah. So they were all at that management office at that time. And then Michael Bolton came aboard, and then Louis wound up taking him over, and that was how that worked. And then, boom, sitting on the dock of the bay, and How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, and huge star.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good for him, I guess.
Retired. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Think of the girls he got because of that.
Oh, I can only imagine.
We saw him a bunch of times. Bruce and I would run into him from time to time, or he'd invite us to come to the concert. It was hilarious.
Now that he's retired,
he was so sheepish because we knew him from back before he was a star. Yeah. So the way he acted towards us was totally different than anybody else because we know what he's really like before he was a star. Now he's playing the star role.
Right. Oh man.
Now would be a good time for him to come back and say, Bob, I'm ready to do that hard rock album. I'm retired. I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, except nobody buys records anymore, so it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work. There are certain things that will work. Metallica. There are artists out there that are selling a lot of records. They are.
Right.
But the 90 other percent is bupkis.
Right.
There's nothing. So it's people just, if it's not, it's got to be a lifestyle decision. I'm going to buy the CD because I need like the Motorhead CD that I co-produced 4 songs on, the most recent one, the Undercover, which are a collection of cover songs, including Whiplash, the song that I won the Grammy for producing along with my partner, the brilliant Bruce Bourier, who I'm working with again now. And so that is one of the things I was saying about stuff that's happening. It's happening because the partners who won the Grammy, the partners who produced God Save the Queen, they're working together again. So about to do some more magic. So that's what's happening here.
Nice. Yeah, you've had your hand in some of the greatest tribute CDs that have ever come out.
Which ones do you like?
Man, I really like the Butchering the Beatles. Is one of my
have a particular favorite on there?
Oh man, there's a bunch of good stuff on there. Lemmy, I think with Eric Singer doing back.
Lemmy, Dave Grohl, and Billy Gibbons.
Is that back in the
USSR? Lemmy with Eric Singer and John Five. That's right.
Right, yeah, back in the USSR.
It's John Five. That's right. They're doing back in the USSR with him doing his back in the USSR. Yep, that's right.
That's awesome.
I was talking about the metal Christmas record was Dave Grohl and Lemmy and Billy Gibbons, and that was like one of the ultimate lineups there. To have the 3 of them, that was insane. But yeah, the Beatles one was really good. The Billy Idol track, I think, was really good on that.
Yeah.
And Alice Cooper and Steve Vai.
Yeah, Hey Bulldog.
That's what that was. Hey Bulldog is really, 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 really good on that. Yeah. I mean, how could you go wrong with a Beatles song? We're just trying to use some different people, and some of them not, shall we say, singers in the way that one would presume, like Lemmy, like John Bush, and like a few of the people on there, Stephen Carpenter, a 7-string guitar interpretation of one of those songs and stuff like that. Took some chances, but I love that record. There's some, Lucy and the Sky with Diamonds and Magical Mystery Tour with Yngwie. There's some real,
awesome.
What's that?
I said that one with Yngwie, he just takes that song and every song on that disc, because it's the Beatles. Obviously they didn't have the means to the technology that is available when this CD is made, but these guys take these songs and because they're amazing, because they're Beatles songs for one, and then two, to take them and rock them out so much more than what they originally were. That one always blew me away. The whole thing is really good.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just the approach you take as an arranger. So I'm going to take the songs and be faithful to the changes in the lyrics and the melodies, but see if we can add something to put a different slant on it. It's always been, fun for me to do. Even on my record, Goldfinger, the James Bond theme, Vic Wright singing it, a guy that has a rock/metal voice with an attack mode guitar version of that, is unique and to me a great twist. Plus, it's a great song, so it stands up in and of and by itself. But if you have a great song and you do a good interpretation of it, there's always, I know this song, so there's always that. Somebody's not going to go, they may not like the arrangement, but they know the song.
Right. Which one of those tribute albums is your personal favorite?
I try not to play favorites, but in terms of sheer firepower, I would have to say the Alice Cooper one has the biggest names.
Yeah.
So Joe Elliott and Zakk Wylde and Roger Daltrey and Slash and Dave Mustaine and Dee Snider and it's Clarence Clemens, it's Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some serious firepower on that record, and their versions are incredible.
Yeah, that's the Human Airy
Slash and Roger Daltrey.
Awesome. Yeah.
Slash and Roger Daltrey. When was the last time anybody heard that combination?
That's it, I think.
Never. Yeah. Yeah, so, there's some of the Aerosmith stuff, my favorite as well.
Yeah.
There's a few songs on there that absolutely are, top of the line, and you have to tip your cat. Some of the people that are on those records are no longer with us.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
love that stuff.
Do you get more of a charge these days out of production or still out of playing, or is it just both?
Both.
Yeah.
They're totally different things. It's totally different things. It may be like softball and baseball, but it's still totally different things.
Right.
It's the relative to it. It's music is music. So what's the difference if you're standing there playing it or playing it in the studio or producing it in the studio? No, but there are different things. Live performance is there and gone, except for nowadays where everybody's got it on their iPhone.
Right.
which is actually interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a new dynamic attached to the performance. It used to be, 20 years ago, you get up there and play, and we cared enough that we listened to the board tapes, so we always heard what we sounded like. What happened there? I lost my place. Oh, that's all right. We won't make that mistake again. And what happened there? You're singing the wrong lyric. I forgot where I was. You started the solo too soon. Yeah, I know. I was a bar early. You can hear it, but now everyone's got it. Everyone can give you those notes. You flub that third note there in the solo or blah, blah, blah. So everybody's got it. Whereas the recording process in the studio, no one gets to hear it until I'm satisfied with it. Right. I'm the editor. I'm the judge and jury. I'm the person who decides this is ready for public consumption. Y'all, here you go. That's totally different than getting up on stage and looking somebody in the eyes while you're dishing it out. It's totally different. But yet, as I'm saying, it's like baseball and softball.
Right.
It's the same sport, only done differently. You do see the difference between baseball and softball. You can steal bases in baseball. You can't steal bases in softball. Playing with a totally different ball, totally different dynamic. The rules are slightly different, but it's still, when I play softball, I'm viewing it that I'm playing baseball, but it's not. It's softball.
Right.
It is different. The speed at which the ball's coming is that nobody's throwing me a screwball. Nobody's throwing me a slider. They're not. Even though the pitches may look like that to me, I'm playing. They're not throwing a fastball at 96 miles an hour. They're not. Whereas that's what being on stage is, the adrenaline of the moment of playing.
Yeah.
To allow your mind to just do what you feel at the moment. That ability is the same as baseball or softball. It is something of the moment. Playing live is the same as playing in a ball game. The adrenaline is there, and it's hand-eye coordination and your brain. They're the same thing. That's why I'm so good at both, because I have really great hand-eye coordination, and I'm really smart when it comes to those two things. That's what I was meant to do. I went out and took some batting practice at the cages out here in Vegas yesterday and sat there and watched other people play a softball game, and I was totally enthralled by it because I love the sport.
Yeah.
It was just, I had no idea who the guys were, but it did not matter. I was just like a pig in shit, just sitting there like, wow, this is great, and really nice night. I'm just having a bottle of water here. I'm going to go get some dinner in a minute, but this is a good game. We got 3 people hit the ball over the fence. I'm like, yikes, that is a shot. One guy, he asked the umpire, let me make sure on the rule. So if I hit a home run, then the other team's allowed how many more home runs? 2. It's like, okay, he got up there and he hit a home run on a 3-2 pitch. I was like, I can't believe it. I hit it over the right field fence. I was just like, It was just a monster shot. I mean, some of these guys are like, they got those souped up bats. So it's, in the stadiums here, they have, the ballparks rather, they have mini stadiums. So Big League Dreams here in Las Vegas has mini Yankee Stadium. That's where I sat yesterday, at mini Yankee Stadium. Oh, wow. And actually played last year when I played at mini Yankee Stadium and mini Dodger Stadium. And it was a total thrill. I was like on cloud nine. It was just great.
That is pretty cool.
Oh, man.
Right? But yeah, the comparison with the music is exactly right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked to
Brent. I'm on stage. The same feeling. It's adrenaline. It's go for it, you know?
Right. And, you know, we talked to Brent a little bit about...
You broke up. I didn't hear... Yeah, Brent?
Yeah, we were talking to Brent a while back, and he was telling us about the anticipation for the first Kulik Brothers show. And, you know, you guys kind of not knowing for sure how it was going to go. How long did it take for you to get up there playing and know this is something special?
Well, that was the idea of us getting up there and doing what we're capable of doing. One can never be assured of that. If everybody dished it out the way I knew we were capable, that the response was going to be favorable. I did learn that if you're really great, which it was in tune. Todd Kearns is a total star. I mean, he totally knew how to sing all those songs, and basically, became a star that night. Brent Fitz. I mean, a more solid drummer you couldn't find. Yeah, right. Background vocals, and what a great vibe to be around the two of them. It's two Jews and two Canadians. So what could be better? Seriously, the vibe was so great on that stage, just playing those songs. And this is my catalog. This is like, I played the solos in those songs. These are my songs, same as my brother. I wrote this solo, like me. I wrote the solo. Okay, maybe Gene and Paul guided a little bit, but this is my shit. So yeah, it was great. And as I learned, if you are great, if you do something special, people will notice. I didn't think anybody noticed anything anymore, just been turned into a pile of crap. But I was wrong, that if you do something great, because even on Blabbermouth, there wasn't one person who said a bad thing. And I was able to analyze why. Because the video was up there. So somebody's saying, this is a pile of shit, and they're all over the place. Where? Where are they out of tune? Where? Where is he flat? Where? Nobody can floor it. I mean, they're bad notes, or there are a few mistakes. Yeah, but they go by so fast. There were no train wrecks. There was nothing inherently like, oops. You'd probably be hard-pressed to find them. And if I pointed out to them, you'd go, I didn't even know that was a mistake. Or I didn't even hear that. We know the difference. And, we all gave it an A+, especially my brother. He was like, Brother Bob, you played the shit out of those songs tonight. Oh, my God. And I was like, Brother Bruce, you played the shit out of those songs tonight. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
With those two guys, magic. And that's all it is, really, when you come right down to it. It's the proper combination of people, like I mentioned, with Meatloaf, or with Kiss, or with any band that really has that aura about them. It's just magic. And the audience senses that, not in a conscious way, but in a subconscious, unconscious way, where they get that warm, fuzzy feeling and they're in love. And then it becomes infatuation. Then it's the Pied Piper, like the Beatles. Everybody lined up behind them. Take us to where we're going now, which they did.
You guys gave a lot of people the warm fuzzies that night.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to hear the songs that they wanted. No fault, no foul. Paul can't sing them anymore. It's not a secret. It is what it is. They're no less great for what they do. It's just that this catalog of songs from the 80s is not that easy to sing. Right. And even when I went out on Paul's 89 tour, we rehearsed Nowhere to Run. We never did it. It was too hard a song to sing. And then sing every night and try to sing that song. Yet Todd Kearns, he nailed it.
Yeah, he did.
Half Step Down. That's his range. We were able to play a song that I was just like, well, we learned it. We never got to play it on Paul's tour. It was one of the things when people ask me, there are any regrets? Yeah, we didn't play Nowhere to Run.
Yeah.
I love that song. So now being able to play it like we did in Indy, that's a big one. People love that. Yeah. And Paul's voice on the original and that solo, this really fits. That was one of those, like, that's magic. Yeah. Like Larger Than Life, that's magic. It's just magic. It's just magic.
Your solo on Larger Than Life is one of my top 5 solos in the entire Kiss catalog. It's amazing.
Well, I think that solo should tell everybody's something about me. And that speaks to several items, one of which is my playing ability. That for me, it was a chance for them to see what they would sound like with me, and me a chance to see what I would sound like with them. And so we both had that opportunity. It was very successful.
Yeah.
But the more important thing that song should show everybody is what I am like as a person. I didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. I didn't run to a magazine to say I played guitar on a Kiss record. I lived up to my word. No, this is a secret between us. Secret between friends. That's what that was. Yeah. No piece of paper. Would have helped my career. I would think if I'd opened my mouth and said, guess who's playing larger than life, and I can prove it? Do you think that might have my career? But I did not do that. I am not somebody to portray my friends. I don't do that. That's what larger than life really is. Larger than life. Thank you. That's me. That's right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I gotta imagine at the time it would have felt great to be able to tell people that.
So,
but
I gotta go. If I didn't do that, that's not what a friend does to a friend.
Yeah.
No matter what the circumstance was.
Right.
Believe me, would have changed my life.
Oh, totally. For the worse.
We're getting the guitar player that actually played the solos in those songs. I didn't do that to them. And unfortunately, after a certain amount of time, it was 10 years or more, they did finally own up that it was me. But yet there were still people out there, no, I think that's Rick Derringer or somebody. So it's like, fuck you. You know, it's so obviously me. You know, how come I'm playing them on stage exactly the way they would play it on the record? You know, it's just a bad joke in a way. But I always look forward to playing those songs for those people who are naysayers. Well, here you go. Here he is. There you have it. Now you know. So it serves as that function as well, aside from having some fun and some great songs I was lucky enough to play on. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that's really the other meaning of what it is.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, because, I mean, you could have went and done that, but then, like you said, you know, all the times throughout the years those guys have come back and presented you with more opportunities, that would have all been gone. Well,
yeah, and again, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I felt like I was dealt with unfairly. This was the agreement that we made, and as I said, one of the big aspects of the agreement was the fact that, you know, now everybody knows what they sound like with Bob, and here I am playing those songs, and people seem to be digging it, so sometimes you have to wait for the payback or for the synchronicity to show up before it all makes sense. Like, this makes sense, you know, not my fate to be in Kiss, but here's my brother and I playing these songs that we both played with Kiss. I mean, that's kind of a synchronized kind of thing. So it wasn't time before, and nobody even thought of this before. Now here it is, so no time like now.
I was going to ask, when you did do the cruise last year, with such a great...
Last question. I got to go. Last question.
Oh, okay. When you did the cruise...
I got to go. I'm sorry.
Do you really have to go?
If you want, we can do this again down the road, but this is all I got for today.
Okay.
Last question.
Okay. Can you give us any hints of what songs are going to be played at the Fort Lauderdale show?
Nope.
Until
we rehearse them, I can't give you a hint, because what if it's like, you know what, we're not going to do that song, it just doesn't sound right somehow. But yeah, I think you could use your imagination. We're going to do songs that are part of Bruce's catalog with Kiss, and we're going to do songs that are still left that are part of my catalog with Kiss. So it seems fairly obvious.
Any chance of the Kulick brothers hitting the road with this, maybe touring around the U.S., hitting some of the bigger cities?
We'll see what fate has in store, won't we?
I'd love to see it. If you guys come to Nashville, we will definitely.
All right, well, you know what? You see my brother on Facebook. Write down, what's wrong with you? We want you to see you on tour. Let's go.
Yeah, Bob's ready. Get it together, man.
Do me a favor. Write him.
All right. We will.
I'm ready anytime. I'm ready, willing, and able. All right, guys, we'll talk again. I hope this was good.
Okay,
all right.
Thanks,
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, you got it. Take care now.
All right, you too. Bye.
The one question, wait, before you go.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question, that's it.
Are you just going to play this for somebody, or are you going to transcribe? What are you doing with this?
Oh, it'll be audio.
Yeah.
It's an audio.
Okay, if there's anything distasteful in there, just pull it out.
Okay, it's not a problem.
I think you're all right.
I mean, I don't think I said anything really bad, but, you know.
No, I think it'll be just fine.
I call him as I see him. What can I tell you?
Of course. We appreciate that about
But I don't want to get myself in trouble,
and I will say
this. I never want to throw somebody under the bus.
Of course not.
What's that?
I will say this. A guy that played guitar with Kiss being a man of his word. What a concept.
Yeah.
After what we've been through recently.
Yeah, right. There you go. Thank you very much for saying that. lend some clarity to it. Thanks a lot. All right, we'll speak again soon.
All right, thanks.
Let me know when it's ready. I want to hear it.
I will.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Bob.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for the great questions. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.